So I'm just gonna prepare this for the testing. So give me a minute. Says every block except the DLC ones. I'll put the DLC ones on and test them out later. So yeah, let's just start with the first block. Let's go from top to bottom. We're gonna start with power block. In the last stream we tested the power of the blocks. This time we're gonna test the range they have. For this I have to play it on the PC version, so that's why this setup's a bit different from before. Just to make sure we have the same environment as last time, I'm gonna make sure that the setup remains the same. So the formation I used in the last test was 3-2-3-2. Okay, so it was this formation that I used. Just swap out Boonok with my custom character. There we go. Now he has the block, no skills to boost it for him. And right, the goalkeeper has to be Wakabayashi. Wakabayashi should have all of his skills except on Nerve, which is exactly what's happening right now. Okay, so this section is good enough for the test. It doesn't matter who I shoot with, so I'm just going to use Schneider from Germany, because one block will instantly turn any shoot into a dead shoot. So yeah, I just need to remember TX. And now we can finally start the testings. Hey Ahmed, no worries, the previous live stream was on a bad time anyway. Okay, so in this live stream we're going to test the range of the blocks. There we go. No wait, that's the opponent, you might should be thinking. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to keep shooting towards the goal. And have my custom character block the shoot and see what happens. See where the mark on the ground ends. So we're just gonna set the settings right now. The first thing we're gonna have to do is knock back the custom character to the position he needs to be on. Hopefully this works the same way as the PS4 version. Hopefully there's not much of a difference there. Okay, here we go. Get both of them again, knock him back. So what we came up with last time was doing this, making him face the side, then giving him the ball, and then knocking him back. This should position him on a good enough spot. Then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna stand in between the two side defenders, essentially at the most middle we can. Move it down and then let's go for shoot. So let's see what's the range of power block. Okay, nice, it triggered. Okay, so here's where the mark ended. That's a very short range. Okay, so we're just gonna remember the position of that. And we're done with the power blocks test. I'm gonna have to synthesize all the ranges once the live stream is over, but right now we can just see how short the range of power block was. On to the next one. I'm first gonna use the original blocks, then we're gonna go for the DLC blocks. And no, I'm not gonna test Skylab because what's the point? You need to know the range for the blocks for your custom character. Skylab block doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we're going with Ishizaki's face block. See what happens then. By the way, guys, how is the audio quality? Can you guys hear me properly? Is the game's audio fine? Please give me some feedback. The positioning of this thing isn't perfect. Much better. Okay, so we're gonna pick Germany again, pick the team of my custom character again, and then move forward. Wait, I didn't even need Wakabayashi to be the goalkeeper, did I? No, I just subbed them out for no reason. Anyway, let's go on. Thanks, Blizzard King. Good to know everything's working fine. Now let's test face blocks range. Why are we testing it like this? Mainly because the game's description is never correct. For example, in the last live stream, we realized that power block is the only true S rank block. The other blocks are just A+ at best. So the whole S of Toughness block was also wrong. So it's the same here. We want to know how the block system works. We know how it works now. You will have to be on your side, needs to be towards the ball for this thing to activate. It doesn't matter if you're facing the ball or your back is towards the ball. Your side has to be to the ball. Like this. You see, when he stands up, I'm on the player's side right now. If I shoot now, he will block it. If it's any other direction, he'll maybe block it. So yeah, that's what they screwed up with. Now let's test the range of face block. Here goes nothing. Okay, you can definitely see the range is much bigger. It's like double the size of power block. So the difference between C range and S range is just double the amount. And that's a very small range. That's a very small range for a S rank block. For a S range block. Either that or Ishizaki's face block is actually has a lower range than they told us about. 'Cause that's way too small. Like, it says S range or A range, but that's probably S compared to what we have now. So let's go with super reflex block right now. See what happens. Now that I know how to trigger these blocks, it's much easier to do it compared to what we had to deal with last time. With the power blocks, with the power of the blocks, where I had absolutely no clue how to trigger the blocks in the first place. Just wanted to make sure the quality of the stream is 1080p. Okay, so back to the original plan. Knock the custom character back, position him perfectly, and then shoot with high fire. This time we're gonna have super reflex block. Originally, super reflex block had a wider range of blocking shoots. I'm not talking about, you know, the range. I mean, super reflex block could block shoots that came from its side, which is what the blocks can currently do, all of them right now. Okay, now we're gonna set him up in that direction, give him the ball, and then knock him back. Okay, so positioning. Okay, hopefully this works. Okay, super reflex block triggered. What? Super reflex block's range was even lower than Jito's. What? Hold up. Let me try something. I have a suspicions of what happened. Okay, let's try this again. What? No. Keine. Schneider. This shoot needs to leave a mark on the ground. Let's see what happens this time. Okay. So super reflex block can actually stop shoots that come from the front. They didn't touch super reflex block's blocked range. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, that's actually really good. So super reflex block is one of those blocks that doesn't have a problem blocking shoots from either the front or the sides. So super reflex block still has that advantage to itself. That's actually really good. So that's one range advantage that no other shoot has. Okay. Or maybe it's that super reflex block can only block things from front now, which makes it a completely different type of block. I'm excited about overhead block as well, since it worked the same way as super reflex block before. So what we know so far is base block's range is double the range of power block. We know that super reflex block can block things from the front, unlike the other blocks now. Now we gotta see what type of block we're dealing with this time. Thank God the positioning doesn't change when I use this method to position my custom character. Wait a minute. Wow, I forgot to set my PC to run on full power. There we go. No, wait, Margus has to knock him back again. Okay, dribble him, make him turn to the side, give him the ball, knock him back, perfect positioning, let's shoot. So the way I'm seeing the range is from the mark Schneider's high fire leaves on the ground. Wherever that mark ends is when the block was triggered. Okay, you can definitely see this is a very decent range. Okay, so this one's definitely between power block and face block. Now the question is, can it take a shoot from front? Let's try it out. It should be the same way as super reflex block, being able to take any shoot from front. So let's test this theory out. What's the answer? It is working from front. Okay, so despite what the game says, overhead block has a bigger range than super reflex block. That thing's probably A range. At least on the PC version I'm trying right now. It shouldn't be that different from the PS4. So right now, overhead block is the only block that actually works consistently. It has a decent range from both side and front. And actually activates from front. So next is spinning block. Let's see what they did to this guy. Overhead block also had A+ power in the power testing live stream. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, why did I press back? If you have any questions about, you know, the game, the skills, the moves, feel free to ask it right now. I've got the time to answer them. This is going a lot smoother and faster than I thought it would. Just check the difference in loading between the PS4 version and the PC version. We had to wait a lot longer when I was trying this on the PS4. Okay. Let's knock the custom character back to his place. There we go. The soundtrack's actually really good. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to move him back like that. Let's reset this. Let's reset this. I moved the custom character back too much without knocking him back properly. So that would have messed up with the range. One second, guys. I do apologize for a pause. Hey Mapjur. It's going well. We managed to test quite a few of the whatchamacallit. We managed to test quite a few of the blocks. Okay. I do apologize for the delay, guys. I had to check something. Okay, back onto the testing. So now we're on to spinning block. We managed to test, I think, 4 blocks by now. We tested power block, we tested face block, we tested super reflex block and overhead block. Okay, let's just not move them around too much. So this is basically the way of testing I figured out in the previous live stream. It's essentially the most assuring way that the guy's gonna trick the block. Gonna trigger the block, sorry. Because any other method I was trying it the ball kept going past my custom character. Okay. Also, it's a decent way to test the range. So let's see how much a spinning block range is. And this time the shoot got past him. Look at this. The ball passed right next to him. I'm doing great actually. Today has been pretty good. Last night I watched the new episode of Kaguya-sama. It nearly broke my mind. So that was something. I was definitely not expecting that kind of work from them. Now this is getting disturbing. I can't even trigger spinning block right now. Or maybe he's too much looking at the wrong direction. Maybe I have to dribble him from this side to fix it. Maybe this will fix it. Okay, let's try this again. Although the ground is already put through scars. Let's try it from a bit higher. Should be able to still test it. Yeah, overhead block is definitely juiced up in this new update. Okay, can definitely see the range now. Except I can't see where the penalty dot is. That's worrying. Okay, I think it's obvious. Okay, this is definitely A range. Then overhead block was B range. Right. Okay, so overhead block was B range, but it works on front and sides. But spinning block only works on the sides. So, yeah, so far I think overhead block is the best. I mean, A plus power, B range, but also activates from basically front and sides. Yeah, so far it's proving to be the best block. I don't think any other block can compete with that. Other than being able to cover the front as well, which I don't think any other block is actually capable of doing. So even without testing any of the others, I'm pretty sure that overhead block is actually the best block in the game right now. Hi Andre, nice to see you join us. On to the next one. So now jumping block, the block we all start with at the beginning of the route. It says C range, so it's probably C range. But man, it's so painful that your side has to be towards the ball in order to trigger the block move. That's horrible. Especially for new hero mode. No wonder I was struggling with it so much in my last run. Okay, from Italy, that's pretty good. Hope you're having a good time. Glad to see you're enjoying the live stream, Andre. Okay, so let me see how many people are watching. There we go. Dribble in from this direction. Give him the ball and knock him down. Okay, 10 people are watching. That's pretty good. Okay, so far we've tested basically the important day 1 blocks. The DLC blocks still remain. Right now we're testing jumping block. And the range is... Okay, the range is C. Yeah, the range is the same as power block, so they weren't wrong about this one. You just gotta love this. Whew. Okay, next up is sliding block, header block, inside block, and after that we're gonna go for the DLC blocks, which is technical block and toughness block and super speed kickback cannon. Super speed kickback cannon is actually very important. I really want to know what the range of that one is. When it tests super speed kickback cannon, we also know exactly how big the range of the blocks are. Because right now we only see where the mark ends, we don't see where the player is actually standing on when the block triggers. When we test it with a super speed kickback cannon, we should be able to realize just how big the range of the blocks are. Just eyeballing it, it seems that the S of face block is double the C of power block. But that's just about it. No, I'm not from Dubai. The only block that now activates when you're facing the shoot is super reflex block and overhead block now. The rest of the blocks need you to essentially have your side to the ball in order to activate. Okay, so let's try it now. We're using sliding block this time, so we should receive a bigger range. Okay, the ball's direction was a bit off. No, it wasn't a bit off. Look at how close it is. Okay, let's dribble him with Marcus again. Maybe I didn't position him good enough. Or maybe the range is just so butchered up it's actually very disturbing. Okay, let's try this again. I know this messes up the block test range a little bit, but I think we can work with it. It didn't trigger. It just blew him away. What? Oh my god. So sliding block has a completely different mechanic on how to activate, I guess. How do we trigger this then? How do we test the range? So now we have to figure out how to trigger sliding block. Fantastic. I am not looking forward to what the heck we have to do with this. And it's not like I did anything wrong. This way that I tried it during the entirety of the power test. And so far for multiple blocks on the range test. So if it's not working, then something's definitely wrong. So, okay, for now I'm just gonna do this with it. And then knock him back a little bit. What I want to do next is I want to make him face this direction. I probably have to knock him back once to fix the positioning. I think knocking him back once would be enough. I'll push him a bit forward just to be safe. Yep, perfect positioning. Somewhat perfect positioning. So now all we have to do is shoot and wait for something to happen. Please trigger the stun. So apparently sliding block only works from the front. Yep, sliding block only works from the front, different from what we had beforehand. And that is definitely not A range. That looks like B range at best. Okay, so sliding block doesn't activate from the side, it only activates from the front. Same as super reflex block. What have they done to this game? No, seriously, what have they done to this game? They made an already complicated game even more complicated, just for the sake of being complicated. Mapture said, is it me or a lot of things don't work properly in the practice mode, but when you go to a match they do? Here's the thing. The practice mode and the offline mode, basically the new hero mode, work the same way. But the online mode made it a little easier to work with. Like, block activates a lot easier in online mode. But if you try that in offline mode, then it won't work. But even so, something that works much better on the offline mode has a better chance to work better in the online mode. So, yeah. So, let's reposition our custom character and test header block. See if that one activates from the side. Maybe that's the difference between sliding block and header block. Maybe sliding block activates from the front and header block activates from the side. I hope. Yeah, there has to be a difference between these two. Okay, make him face the side. Okay. Let's try the high fire shoot this time. And hopefully it activates the block. Come on. Okay, so this one activates from the side. So that's the difference between sliding block and header block. Sliding block only activates from the front. Header block only activates from the side of the player. So that's the difference between these two. I like it. I like that they actually put some difference between them. And the range was very bad. The range was basically C. The range was not A. I didn't see much of a difference between header block and sliding block and jumping block. Except that jumping block was actually stronger than them. Okay, so now for the last of the normal blocks, before we move on to the DLC blocks, inside block. This used to be absolute garbage. Before the update it was C range and D power. Now it's definitely a B power, but what's the range now? They say it's a B. I don't trust what they're saying. Not even the slightest amount of trust. Why do I keep going for my custom team first? Much better. Now that I set my PC to run on full power, it's loading the practice mode a lot faster. So thank God for that. We don't have to wait too long for it. Okay. Let's knock him back again. Just in case, I'm also gonna test the front side for inside block. See maybe if it activates from the front as well. Okay. Okay, so this one definitely activates from the side, and the range is... Okay, so that's a C range. So everything else was B range. Was A range, sorry. So let's test if it works from the front. Did he move to the side? Why? Move towards me. Okay, this should be enough. Let's see if it activates from the front. Okay, so it activates from the front as well. So Anti-Block activates from the front and the side. Except it's a very horrible range. The difference between the range of the blocks is basically non-existent. Like, they all basically have the same range, it's just a little bit larger or smaller. The difference isn't that big compared to how it was before. And they've definitely lowered the range of the blocks. It's just like I feared, because sorry for a moment. Okay. So basically the S range of now is what B range of before used to be. B range of before. So they've completely destroyed the range of the blocks. Basically lowered them by half. Why did they do that? I have no idea. And now some blocks activate from the front, some blocks activate from the side, some blocks activate from both sides. Let's test Toughness blocks range. I'm not gonna go back to practice mode to switch blocks anymore. I'm just gonna manually change it for my custom character from the game files. Okay. You know, limited stamina isn't that realistic, because I don't know, a player shouldn't just completely burn out during a match, you know. Especially like, okay, they shoot it once and now they're so exhausted. Why are they exhausted? They just shoot it once. They do 100 of those shoots in their practices. Shouldn't be exhausted so easily. Running and getting exhausted, yeah, I'm okay with that. But just shooting and getting exhausted, I am honestly not a big fan of it. So here's Toughness block. Okay, that's definitely a C range of a block. That's definitely C range. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't look like the game made any mistakes on the range of the blocks. It looks like the ranges are all correct. But about how it works, the front and the sides, it's not specified in the game, and it is definitely different from one block to another. Okay, so now we're gonna see if Toughness block can trigger from the front. Trigger. No, it doesn't trigger. So Toughness block only works from the side. See, my custom character got blown away. Even though he had Toughness block, he had full spirit, but he was facing the shoot, so it didn't trigger. His side needs to be towards the shoot for it to work. On to the next block move. This is what I mean when I say they completely mess up the block mechanics of the game. Man, the summary video is going to be a pain for this one. How's my positioning compared to the camera? I guess it could work a bit more lower. Why was the mouse on screen? I was pretty sure I had it covered. God damn it. Okay, so now technical block. Technical block is actually very important. Technical block used to be the best block in the game, but now, I don't know, overhead block seems to be taking over. If technical block doesn't have... if technical block can't block anything from up front, then that means it's completely destroyed. And it's no longer the top block in the game. But we'll have to see how that goes. Okay. Tripling the guy. Nothing comes back. Perfect positioning. Now time for the high fire shoot. See how it works. And let's see what the range of technical block is. Okay, so it obviously activates from the side. Yeah, I want to go with that's a B range probably. It looks like a B range. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that's a B range block. So they're correct about the text apparently. Now let's see if we can block it from the front. This is the important part. Can it keep up with overhead block, or is it completely overshadowed by it? The answer is okay. Technical block does activate from front. Alright. That's actually really interesting. Just want to see what the game description for it says. And then we're gonna move on to the final test, super speed kickback cannon, which is actually very important because we're finally gonna realize just how big the block range is. Okay, let's see. So it's A range. Okay, so that was A range. So, what's the power of... So technical block is actually... has the same power as overhead block. Technical block and overhead block are both A+. The power of B is wrong. It's actually A+ power for technical block. And the range is A, but for overhead block, the range is B. Technical block can also cover both sides and fronts, so technical block is still the best block in the game. Alright. Okay, so technical block is still the best block in the game. By a very small margin. Very, very small margin. Just a very small block range. It's almost non-existent. And now for the super speed kickback cannon, we're gonna try it out. And see how it goes. Final test of this game, the super speed kickback cannon. Now let's see how super speed kickback cannon activates. Does it only activate from the front like sliding block? Does it only activate from the sides like every other block? Or does it activate from all ranges like technical block, overhead block? Okay. It's alright, Pythie. Let him write as much as he wants. I mean, that's what the chat is for. Hey, PJ! At the climax too, we're about to realize what's the smallest range in blocking. And realize how super speed kickback cannon works now. Ooh, this is actually very important and nerve-wracking. Been streaming for about 45 minutes now. There wasn't really any need to make the stream too long. Since we've already done half of the testing, we've already tested the power on the PS4, and we just have to test the range. Whew. Okay, final test. The high fire shoot. Here we go. And the result is... Wait, what? Did I forget to put it on? I'm an idiot. I'm a real idiot. I forgot to change it to super speed kickback cannon in the game files. $11 players are watching the live stream. And good morning, Sirako. Glad to see you could join us. Making stupid mistakes on the live stream, not good. Okay, time to wrap this up. Just moving the mouse to the side. Don't want it to be blocking anyone's face. Bar took 12 watts. Okay, positioning him. Now let's see how super speed kickback cannon really works. Is it from the side like sliding block? Is it from the... Sorry, is it from the front like sliding block? Is it from the sides like any other block? Or is it from all directions like super reflex block and overhead block? Sorry, like overhead block and technical block. It's not from the side. It doesn't activate from the side. Because, I don't know, it couldn't be any clearer in terms of sides, you know. Okay, so that should position him perfectly for a side. Let's test it again. If it doesn't activate this time, then that means it's totally not going to work from the sides. Let's do this again. Oh, okay, so you're the 12 viewer. Nice to know. Oh, so it does activate from the side. Good to know. That's good to know. So let's see what the range is for super speed kickback cannon. Okay, so this is C. Alright. So guys, this is the C rank range, and this is A range. From the point Miracle M is standing all the way to this point I place the ball on. This is A range, and this is C range. This is B range, this is A range. There's basically almost no difference between the ranges of the block right now. The only noticeable difference is a jump of 2 ranges. So yeah. So super speed kickback cannon works from the side. Does it work from the front? It should be enough to make him look at us. Okay, so now he's standing up front. If he triggers it, that means super speed kickback cannon works from the front as well. If it doesn't, then that means it only activates from the side, like any other block. And it didn't activate. it didn't activate. So super speed kickback cannon only activates from the sides and not the front, which makes no sense. Imagine you're facing the guy from the front and you can't kick the ball back. You have to have your side to him and then turn around and then kick back the shoot. Well done, game. You managed to completely ruin everything. But yeah, that's everything about the range of the blocks. We've tested everything. All that's left is for me to analyze through all the data and make a short video explaining everything about the ranges. But to have a very quick summary, sliding block only activates from the front. Super reflex block also only activates from the front. So sliding and super reflex, you can only activate it by facing the player who's shooting. So the same as before the update. Overhead block and technical block. To activate these two, you can either face the front or the side. It doesn't matter. It activates on all directions. Again, overhead block, technical block. Any other block in the game demands you to have your side towards the shoot. Oh wait, I missed two. Inside block and toughness block also activate from all directions. Inside block, toughness block, technical block, and overhead block. These four activate from all directions. Sliding block and super reflex block only activate from the front, and every other block activates from the side. And yep, that's it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to see more, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. Let's just hit that 5,000 already. I've been edging towards it so slowly. And there's also a thank option added to YouTube, so if you ever want to thank me for going through all of this stuff and making content, you can. And as usual, you're just going to ignore me, so let's just forget about it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you all next time.